you have noticed also. And that is, frequently there is a connection between a person's name and the work that they do. I know you've heard of Lee Iacocca, and frequently his last name, Iacocca, was used as an acronym, standing for I am Chief Officer, Chrysler Corporation of America. And I wondered, how did that happen? But frequently it happens. I met the man who was the Director of Waste Management, and his name was Roger Pugh. And then I was told to call the Director of Training, and his name was Richard Horney. And I wondered, what kind of training? It always made me feel a little bit uncomfortable to call and ask for Mr. And then there was the political sign that said, vote for Oliver Loser. And I wondered, why? So I tried to connect my own name of Ritz with the work that I was doing, and I was trying to help managers deal with change and prepare for the future. So I came up with a logo for my business, and it was called Creating a Ritzy Future. So I thought, we might like to see if this will work for you. What we're going to do is have you think about the first initial of your first name, or the first initial of your last name, and connect it with a word that describes you. For example, if your name was Madeline Jones, you would take the M from Madeline, and you would say, hi, I am Magnificent Jones. Or if your name was Carla Franklin, you might say, you may call me Carla Fantastic. Now, the only ground rule that we're going to follow is that there will be no modesty permitted. Modesty is a fine trait, but some people take it too far. You know you've taken it too far when somebody compliments you and says, I like your top. And you go, oh, this rag? That's called denying a compliment. What you really want to say is, thank you, right? And accept the compliment. So I'd like you to think about the first initial of your first name, or the first initial of your last name. Turn to the person next to you and introduce yourself using your new name. Give it a try. Volunteer. Who will tell us who you just met? Raise your hand. Who did you just meet? Who will tell us? Who did you meet?
Just fine.
Just fine over here? Wave your hand, just fine. You see, it worked, didn't it? Who else would tell us who they just met? Who did you meet?
Naughty Norris.
Naughty Norris. Let's confess here. See your hand, Naughty. You see, it worked for her. Who did you meet?
Silly Dennis.
Silly? Silly? Okay, Silly, welcome. It worked for you. It does not work for everyone. Some people have to change their name. I know you've heard of the American fashion designer Ralph Lauren. It didn't work for Ralph. Would you buy an overpriced polo shirt from a Ralph Lipschitz? Speaking of acronyms, there is an acronym I want you to remember. The acronym is MMFI. MMFI. And it stands for Make Me Feel Important. It is a human need, and you're never going to get old enough, wealthy enough, or have a significant title that you will no longer need, MMFI. And it all starts with recognizing your own giftedness and sometimes setting modesty aside.